Hello, today I'm going to show you how to paint this landscape with watercolor. We will paint the background, which is the sky and the sea first, and then we will spend more time on the house. I'm painting wet on wet with different shades of blue for the sky. I move the brush sideways from left to right and also leave some parts white for the clouds. And next, paint the sea with the mix of blue and green colors. Remember to keep the paper white for the waves at the bottom of the house. This is where the sea water hits the rocks and the walls, and we can paint the rocks wet on dry after this layer is dry because the rocks have darker values. Next, I paint the vines that are close to the water in the reference photo, so the vine will have soft edges when the paper is still wet. I want to focus the audience on the house and the light contrast on the house. To keep the value, meaning the light and shadows, consistent across the whole painting, I paint a thin layer of blue wet on dry for the shadows where there's no direct sunlight. Because this house is painted white, the shadows will have a bluish color. We will add another layer of blue to make some parts even darker, such as where the cast shadows are. I painted the windows and the doors with light warm brown color to balance with the blue. Now we will paint the trees behind the house. When things are far away, we don't need to have a lot of details for them. So I use a flat brush and a round brush to add some texture and shades of greens for the trees without describing every single leaf or branch. We also paint the shadows for the rocks behind the house with some dark brown, wet on dry. Next, paint the plants with different shades of green, and the plants under direct sunlight will have more vibrant and light green, while the ones in the shadows should have darker colors. Use a small brush to paint the roof wet on dry with a mix of orange and red colors. If you like this video so far, subscribe and hit the bell button as it's a huge support for my channel. Thank you! Wait until the paper is completely dry, then paint some details under the roof with a darker color. Also paint the windows and doors with a dark brown orange color, wet on dry. We paint the cast shadows between the bricks on the roof with a dark brown color, wet on dry. Use the same orange-brown color to paint the clay pots. Now, paint the brick patterns on the wall with random shapes and sizes to make it more dynamic. So we will paint them wet on dry, and we don't need to make them perfectly rectangles. Now draw the vines with your small brush and with a darker brown color. And the vines should have some texture on it so it will look more interesting. Also, the other vines on the right side of the house. Try to use different colors such as a light orange, medium orange brown, and dark brown colors for the rocks on the pathway. We paint them with random shapes and sizes wet on dry. I use the tip of the brush to draw the gaps between the rocks on the wall. Now it's time to paint the beautiful roses in front of the house. I don't try to describe every petal of each rose. Instead, I just work on colors and values for the entire rose tree, so the leaves and flowers in the shadows should have darker shades. And this is the final painting of the beach house. I hope the tutorial is useful and you can learn some tips for your painting. Let me know if you have any questions in the comments. Like, share and subscribe to get more tips in my next videos. Thanks for watching.